Okay, so so today we are going to discuss mainly data types actually. So this is very important. So this also we are going to use very frequently in our regular SQL life actually. Okay, so that is, now let us see here data types. So if you know other languages, any programming language, you might guess that what is data type. Okay, so that is very simple. For any column, so in the EMP table, for example, we have a EMP number, ename, for example, salary, DEPT number. Okay, so these are the columns actually. So if you observe that even in the here, so in these columns, if you observe the data especially under the EMP number, you can see all are numbers actually, and the EMP name all are the alphabetical. So alphabetical letters actually. Then job also same thing, but MGR is again number, and a higher date is date. So for any particular column, what kind of data you are going to store? So what type of data you are going to store in future? So that you must inform to the compiler in advance, so that only that type of data it is going to allow actually. Is it clear? So we have many data types. So those data types you can use basing on our requirement actually. So let us see very frequently used basic data types. So one is integer for numbers actually. So for numbers we are going to use int int. Okay. Then another one is, of course, we have a decimal. Sometimes you may have float numbers, right? So decimal, precision and scale. We will see. Don't worry. Whenever situation comes, we will see. And then here the scale. So this is for the float numbers actually. So if you know C language or C++, Java or Python, any other programming language, not Python, in Python data type, you no need to tell in advance. But in case of SQL or C++, for any column, you must define its data type actually. So that only that data type values it is going to allow in future under that particular column. Okay. So like that we have and direct float also there in the MS SQL. Then we have another uh, varieties. These are all for the numbers actually, and date time. So this is for the timestamp actually. Okay. So this is for the timestamp. So we are going to have date and as well as time also. So time means hours, minutes, seconds. Okay, so that is what date time. And very important data type we will use is for the characters. You have a char or var. Okay, and the another one is nchar, nvar. Okay, we will see those meanings. Okay, so these are the data types regularly used one. We have, of course, many other data types actually. Basing on the requirement, we can refer actually. So now, hope first of all, what is the meaning of data type is clear. Now, basing on this very important discussion, we are going to have next. So that is, before this, let us discuss another thing. So hope this part is clear first of all. Okay. So let us see another one. We have different types of commands actually. Okay. We have different types of commands. And very importantly, as at a SQL developer, if your role is SQL developer, then very frequently we will use DDL commands, DML commands actually. So D for data, okay. So D for data, then this definition language, okay, definition language, and DML, data manipulation language, okay. So this is very easy to understand, nothing is there. So let us see here. For example, if you are constructing a house, is it clear? If you are constructing a house, so to construct this house, first of all, you must need a blueprint, right? Is it or not? What does it mean? It's a plan where you want to place the pillars, where you want to construct the doors, windows, and many things. So what are the measurements? Everything you are going to have in a blueprint, which is on the paper. Is it or not? Now, basing on this blueprint, you are constructing a house. Okay. So you constructed a house. So assume this is the house you constructed. So that is what you are defining a house actually. You are constructing a house means data definition language. Then in this house, who is going to stay, in which room, which person is going to stay, and objects where you want to place, all those things is actually data manipulation language. That's it. So the commands under DDL talking about the definition. So that means you need to construct the house or you need to change the house. Sometimes you need to construct a extra room. So that is also definition. You are changing the plan, right? So that is what alter. You are altering the house actually. Or sometimes you need to destruct. You need to destruct this entire house. You need to remove. That is what you are dropping the house. So under DDL commands, data definition, you are defining a house. We are going to have a mainly create, alter, and drop. So these are the three commands we are going to use mainly. Okay, that may be procedure, stored procedure, or view, or table, or any other thing in the database. So you are going to use these three commands actually. For creating means new one you are creating. Altering means you are changing the existing one, as name implies, nothing to remember. Okay. And drop, you are removing actually. Entirely you are removing from the database. What that may be a table or stored procedure or whatever. Okay, many other objects are there, triggers are there, cursors are there, and views are there. Okay, so whatever and indexes are there. So if you are creating a new one, that means you are defining it. That is what DDL commands. Then data manipulation language commands. What are these? So these are actually select command. That means, see, I will come back. Select command, update command. Update means, as name implies, you see, you are changing the data actually, or you are deleting. Okay, delete command, or we have a truncate. We will see these differences regularly asked interview question. These two parts. Now, so here you see, I want to data definition language. For example, EMP table is there. First of all, to insert the data, so you see here you have a data directly, is it or not? So this data, how it came? First of all, EMP table you need to create. So if you come here, then in the master database, if you come to the tables, here we have a EMP table. Now you just right click, come here, script table as, click on that, come to create to new query editor window. So let it come. So in the house, When it is possible to stay in the house actually, first of all, you need to construct the house. Similar manner, when it is possible to insert the data into the table, first of all, how this data came, first of all, you need to create the table actually. You need to define it. You need to construct a house. That means you need to create a table. That is what create command. That is what you are defining actually. Is it clear? That is why try to understand why definition. You are defining it. So that is what table name is EMP and columns you given like EMP number, E name. So like this we have 8 columns you given. So that is what here you can observe. Create table and the table name. Forget about this DBO. I will come back to this part. This is the actual table name. Forget about this. I will come back again. Okay. Try to understand the difference. Now DML. After house is constructed, you want to stay inside the house, right? That means you can insert the data, and here insert is also will come. Many other are there. I am just taking the important ones. Okay. So DML command. So you can use that house. That means you can place the objects, you can remove the objects, you can change the objects, or you can just see the objects. That is what select, right? Just retrieving the data. That just reading and giving as a output. It is not changing anything. That is what select command is doing, right? So that is what overall, first of all, DML and DDL commands meanings actually. Now let us try to see what is actually create table. How you are going to create a table in MS SQL actually. Hope this part is clear. Don't worry. One by one, everything we will see. Okay. Now, if you come to create a table, table is used to organize data in the form of rows and columns and used both storing and displaying records in the structured format. That is what structured. So we have a NoSQL database. Okay. So that means what actually data is not in a structured format like EMP table. In the EMP table, it is organized. Columns are there, rows are there. Anything you can retrieve actually. Unstructured, it is in a flat files. Okay, we will see that part. Table creation command requires 3 things: name of the table, name of the column, and very importantly, domain of the column. Domain means that is what data type. Okay, how you will create a table? So simple. Create is the command. Table is also a keyword. Then whatever table name you want to give, you can give here. Then column name and its a data type. Column name and its a data type. How many columns you have, that many columns you can place, and for every column you must mention its a data type actually. Okay, so let us come to here. Don't worry about this part. Okay, what we will do is we will try to create another table. Okay, so that is what you can see. Create table. So for example, we want to create a student table. So I am just taking student name. Table name is student. See here, inside the braces, you must mention the column names actually. Okay. So now what is the first column name? Student number. Student number data type is what? Int, for example. That's it. Comma. Then what is the next one? Student name. So let us take it's a keyword. So S name. Then it is a varchar type, right? So it is a character type, right? So varchar. So you observe that keywords are coming in a blue letter, blue color. Okay. Now you see varchar is going to have some size actually. Your name, how much size maximum? Is it 10 characters or 20 characters maximum? Let us give 10. Okay. Then let us take marks. Okay. As we discussed, we have other data types numeric. Okay. Then, for example, you can see here, marks. So marks, I am giving 4, comma 2. Okay. What does it mean actually? 4 means total number of letters, four total number of numbers, okay, is 4 actually. Okay, in that where you are putting a float value dot, that is after 2, that is what scale actually. So don't worry, we will see. So for example, here if you see 4, when I mention numeric 4, when I mention numeric 4, that means total 4. Then numeric means float is also possible. Okay, so that means, for example, if I have 99.98, so this is total 4 numbers are there. Where is the dot after 2 numbers? Is it or not? That is what from this side where you want to put dot. So I mentioned 4 comma 2, right? So 2 means from this side 1, 2, here you want to put a dot. Okay, so that is what actually numeric, that is what this is the precision and this is the scale. Okay, that is simple one. Okay, now with these three, let us try to create a table. So you can see, so now you see command completed successfully, that means table is created. That is what you defined a table with all columns and each column data type. That means in future under S number, you must enter only integer values. It is not going to allow any other data type except integer. Okay, so that is what creation. Of course, that is simple one. And this part, don't worry, constraints. We are going to have a rules actually. That part separate lecture we will see. Okay, so that is simple one. Now as a table just defined actually. So basically you first created a table. Okay, now you can change the table definition actually. Sometimes you see what is the change actually. Sometimes you need to add some more columns, or sometimes you need to change the data type also. So that is also possible. So that is what actually next concept, alter table. Alter is also definition level. That means you are changing the structure of a table, right? That means you are changing the definition. So that is what it's not MySQL, it is MS SQL also. Alter statement is used when you want to change the name of your table or any table field. Okay. So just a minute. Okay. So now you can see. So now you can see here. So don't worry about other things. As we are moving, all other things we are going to see. Okay. At the basic level, let us try to understand. So now if you want to add any column extra actually, okay, so that is what here you can see. So this is already there, this table is already there. So you can see select star from student. Okay, then if I run this one, you can see there is no data, right? You just created, but inside there is no data. But now you want to add extra column here. Not only these 3 columns actually, at the definition, when you are creating a table, we don't know other columns. So now you want to add extra column. So that is what simple alter table, table name. So what you are altering, see, that also we will see as we are moving table. Okay, or procedure in future we will see, views we will see in future, triggers, and of course we have function. All these are different types of objects actually. Every object you can create, drop, alter, as we seen actually. Okay, you can create, drop, or alter. You can modify also. Okay, any object. Got it or not? Of course, many other are there. Whatever I got to know, these things I written here. Okay, so that is why alter command is not just for the table. So you must mention which type of object you are changing. That means whether you are changing, that means altering a table or procedure or view or trigger or function. That is why after alter, you must mention object type. Table type object I am changing. So in tables, which table you are changing, that is what table. So very simple, right? Okay. Now, what you want to do, I want to add a column here. So that is what you can see here. Suppose if I want to add email. Okay. So email and it's a data type you must mention, right? So varchar of, for example, 20 I given. Now let us run this part. What will happen? Let us see. So you see, that means command successfully executed means this column is added. Now you can run this one. Then you can check in the output. So email, you see, it is there. Okay. So of course, all these are simple things only. But still, if any doubt is there, please let me know. So hope it is clear. Is it clear? Yeah. Yeah, this is a simple concept. So same manner. So as we discussed, so some columns we don't need, for example, email. What I suggest is the basic part is completed, select clause. After that, every other things are just helping because most of the times, 99% of the times, you will you will write the select queries only. Basing on your requirements, sometimes you will create the tables. At that time, you need to go for it. So you must know that what are all options are there in the SQL. Okay, but logically you must understand select clause. Okay, so now here you see if I want to remove any column, actually you added, so sometimes you don't need some columns, right? Alter table student. Now I want to delete this email column, actually. So at that time, drop column, that column name you just mentioned. Okay, so now you can see if I execute this, so that is also successfully completed. Now you can display, you can execute the student table. Now email is not there. Earlier it is there. Is it or not? So that is what drop command. Okay. Now, so if you see, if any column is there, what you can do on the table, either you can add the column or you can drop the column or you can change the column, actually. That means I want to either I want to increase the varchar size. That means 10 characters. Sometimes you want to increase the size, not 10, 20. Or sometimes you want to decrease the size. Okay. That means what, actually, that you are altering. Okay. So now how name we are going to alter. So that is what you can see here. Alter table. Anyhow, you are altering table. Table name is student. Then use alter command. What you are altering? Column. Which column you are altering? Name. What you want to do, you just mention there. So instead of 10, I want to do 15. Here one small thing is there. Listen carefully. Now, varchar 15. If I run this one, there is no problem. Okay. Now, how you will know it is 15 or not? You just come to tables part, just refresh it. Right. Yeah. Now come to student, come to columns. You just observe that in the definition, It is 15 there now. Earlier it is 10, right? While you are creating a table. Now it is 15. So in that way you can change it. So it's a simple one. Okay. So hope now this is clear. So what is the small thing here, as I told here is, let us come here. For example, let me remove this whole thing. Now, for example, when I am creating a e-name column, I given like this, or S name, student name. Okay. Where care of, for example, 4 I given. Okay. For example, I given 5. Okay. So, and I already inserted some data after creation. For example, what is the data I have is A, B, C, D, E, one column. Ravi is another column, and X, Y, Z, L is another column. So like that we have. Now I want to change the size of this one. If you try to increase this one, it will allow actually. So that may be a 6 or 7, whatever more than this, it will allow. Okay. So that is not a problem. If you try to decrease, tell me what is the problem if you allow. So just think normally. What is the problem if you allow? Suppose if I mention 3, what is the problem? If I mention 4, what is the problem? Just logically you think. Okay. Now I will tell another scenario. So same thing. Suppose this is the one scenario. That means you already have some data. After some rows are inserting, you are trying to decrease the size. Suppose immediately after creating this one, I am trying to decrease. That means there is no data. Here no data. Here already some data is there. When no data is there, if you are trying to decrease, what will happen? When already some data is there, if you are trying to decrease, what will happen? That is what the question. Just a normal thing only. Yes. See, it's just a simple thing. See, if there is no data, even if you decrease or increase, no problem actually. Suppose if I decrease to 3, in future, whatever data you are inserting, you will just take care that maximum you will allow 3 characters. But if you have already data, and if you are trying to decrease the to suppose 3, what you have to do about this existing data actually? So that is why if you want to, sometimes if you want to change the type or size, you must take care of existing data. If every existing data is under the new size, then it will allow. Otherwise, it will not allow. For example, here where you already given 10. Now, if you're trying to decrease to 5, then it will check that 5, 4, 4. So that means maximum in a existing data, maximum length is 5, and you are trying to change to 5. So that time it will allow actually for decreasing. Okay, that is what. If you are increasing, there is no problem actually. Anyhow, existing data will not affect it. But if you are trying to decrease, then it needs to cross check the existing data. Okay, so that is one simple thing you must understand. Okay, so hope that is also clear. So I will show you whenever we have a data already. Okay. Or let us come to this table actually. So now you see, I will try to show you one simple thing. Say here, select star from EMP. Listen carefully, this one. See, I'm going to change the EMP table definition. That means one of the column I am going to change for our discussion now. Okay. So I want to put this original EMP table as a backup. So you can see what I am going to do. Select star into. Okay. Listen, see this part. EMP temp. What is going to happen is normally select star from EMP. Finally, whatever data is coming, okay, that is the output. This is the output, 14 rows. Those 14 rows you want to place in this table actually. So this table should not exist till now. So you can see in the database, EMP temp is not exist in the database. This you are going to use regularly in your SQL development life. Okay. So this kind of things. Okay. Temp tables we are going to have next concept, that also we will see. But if any query output you want to capture into any table, then simply just place after the columns. After all columns you mention, maybe star or column names you mention, right? So for example here, EMP number, E name, salary, these three columns. So these three columns data you want to place in a EMP table. Okay, just mention into, then table name. And this table name must be new one, not a existing table. Okay. So here I'm going to take star. Let us see. So now if I run this one, what will happen? So 14 rows are affected. That means I took this EMP table backup. So now you can see temp. Okay. Now if I run this query, you can see the 14 rows. See here, 14 rows are copied to EMP table. Now what I did, which query I executed? This one. Is it or not? Now let us try to observe this case, whatever we discussed. When you are changing the size actually. Let us come to the definition of the EMP table. Let us come to the E name. Okay. So you can see in the E name, Turner 6, Martin 6, maximum length is 6. Let us try to change the E name size to 5 actually. So that what about the Martin and Turner and what system will tell? Let us observe. Is it or not? Okay. So what you have to do? Alter table. Table name is EMP. Or you can work on EMP temp also instead of original table changing. Let us work on this. Okay. Then alter column name. What is the column name? E name. Then varchar of 5. Okay. Now let us try to run. This is the important observation. You can see string or binary data would be truncated in a table. E name truncated value. So let us run this one. Let us see now. Let us refresh. Yes. Then come to, so now you can see EMP table is there in the database. And you can see the columns. So it's not changed, you can observe. Because already some data is there. Let us check with 6 actually. Okay. Because you can see in the EMP temp table, what is the maximum length of any name? So Turner is 6, Martin is 6. Any other person more than 6? No. Let us check with 6 actually. Is it going to alter or not? So you see, successfully altered. You refresh here tables, then come to temp table, expand, go to the columns. You can see here ename size is 6. So hope that meaningfully clear when you can alter. Okay. Of course, that is simple one, but it has some important discussion. Okay. So that is what actually in the MS SQL, if you want to change the definition of a table, either you can add a column or you can drop a column or you can change the column definition like this. Okay. So another one is drop, drop table. That means totally you are removing from the database actually. So that is what it is again MS SQL drop table. This statement removes the complete data of a table along with whole structure or definition. Okay. So drop table, table name. So you just see here, EMP table we created, right? So we want to remove this table from the database. So that means after remove, it should not exist in this database actually. Here it should not visible. So that you can see drop table EMP temp. Now if I run, you can see here successful. Okay. Now if you just refresh the table part, because once after, of course, it is already removed in the database. Here this is displaying the last refresh actually. So if you just refresh, again it will pick from the database actually. So refresh it, then you can see EMP temp is not there in the database. Or you can try to execute actually, try to display the data from EMP temp. So you see invalid object name. So that object is not there in the database. That is why it is saying that invalid. Okay. So that is simple one only, right? Any confusion? Oh, what? Okay. So hope this is clear. What is our doubt? I didn't see actually, but it does not allow if the given data length does not matches.
That answer, sir. That it's not about.
Okay, okay. You got the answer in the discussion?
Where get like the increase decrease button that I wrote that one.
Okay, okay, right. Okay. So hope is it clear? Yeah. Okay, constraints. We have some time actually. Just a minute. We will go to other concept. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. What is doubt?
Select command, is it comes under DML or DQL, sir?
DML, manipulation. It is not definition level, right? You are just using the data.
DQL, I'm asking. Data query language.
No, no, DML, manipulation.
DML.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, always remember house construction or house destruction. or house alteration. That means extra rooms are constructing or one room you are removing. Definition, that one. Manipulation is what? You just using the house, inside staying. Okay. New objects you are placing, or objects you are removing, or existing objects you are changing, you are modifying them. So that is inside a house you are not changing, but inside the house objects you are changing. Manipulation, that is called. So that means in a table you can insert the data. Suppose EMP table is there. Manipulation means what? Actually select, you are just retrieving the data. That is what one manipulation. Sometimes I want to remove this employee actually. Okay, so that is what you are removing. That means the data only you are removing, not changing the definition. Or sometimes instead of clerk, you want to give clerk as a salesman. That means you are changing the data actually. Okay, that is what you can call update here. Or you that is what you can insert the data. New employee came, so you want to insert in, so that 15 employees will become. So that is what, just data level if you are working, manipulation we call. Okay, that also we will see. Okay. DDL, which one? Select command in DDL.
One book in one book there are like select is comes under DQL, data query
Of
language.
course, those are the new names actually. Traditionally, DDL, DML actually.
Okay, sir.
Query, just retrieving the data. Sometimes they calling as a DQL actually. But select is guaranteely not under DDL. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Hope everyone have DEPT table also in our table, in our database. Is it? EMP and DEPT. Everyone have or not? Both. I have already. Do you have? If you don't have, I will give the script. You just run that. Say here, you also practice actually, because regularly these options you will check on any table. If you give right click, okay, select the table, give the right click. See the, just observe the options actually, nothing is there. Okay. Now, if you want to select the 100 rows, 1000 rows, you can see here. If you want to edit the rows also, top 200 rows, you can go for it. Now, actual definition, script table as this table script if you need, not only the table, maybe view or synonym, or in the programming stored procedure maybe, or a function maybe, whatever. Okay. If you want to know it's a script, just go here, create to, go to the new editor window. So DEPT table, uh, table creation script you are going to get here actually. Yes. So this is, these things you will get automatically. Don't worry about this part. Only main thing is this one for us. Okay. So I'm just removing other things actually. And this is what constraint part, null part also. You don't worry about that. Okay. That we need to discuss. So this script I'm just placing here. Of, if I guess all of you have, if no one have, okay. Now, very important thing, okay, in SQL life is joins. Guarantee question in the interview, and many times you are going to use the giants in queries actually, because in the real time you are retrieving the data, you are querying the data not just from one table. Okay, definitely there are going to have many tables actually. So all those tables, sometimes you need to join them. So that is what we are going to see. Definition: SQL join statement is used to combine data or rows from two or more tables actually. You are joining table 1, okay, then table 2. These two you are joining actually, basing on something. We will see that. Okay. So types of joins, we have many things. Inner join, theta join, equi join, natural join, self join. Don't worry about all those. Outer join, left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. Okay. So instead of discussing all these things one by one formally, informally, let us attack first of all. Okay. Come here. See here. This data is the department data. This is employee data. I want to join these two tables actually. Okay. So if I just join them, what will happen? And first of all, how you will join them? Let us see here. Select, see here, select. We will come back to star part from EMP table, comma, DEPT table. I given. Now come here, give a star. If I run, what will happen? You just observe. See here, in the EMP table, 14 rows are there. In the EMP table, 14 rows are there. In a DEPT table, 4 rows are there. If you run this one, how many rows came? Don't worry. See here in this corner, 56 rows. 56 rows. What happened? 14 into 4, 56. How that data came is row 1, row 2, row 3 from EMP table, and here row 1 1, row 1 2, for example, you have. How this 56 came is this row combining with this row combining with this. Same thing, this row combined with this row combined with this. So you can see how many joins happen. 3 into 2, 6. Here 3 rows, here 2 rows, total 6 rows. Same thing here also. Observe that. Let us run all the queries. Just clearly try to understand. Visualization is very important than the results, because results you will get basing on your visualization. Just observe that here the Smith. Observe the Smith. 20th department. Don't worry about the 20. You didn't put any condition. That is why Smith came, and 10th. This is the row 1 and this is the row 1 in the department table. These two just came in side by side in single row. Similarly, now you see clearly, Ellen is there, right? Ellen. But this is the 10th department only. So if you observe this part especially, there are total 14 employees are there in the EMP table. So for all 14 employees, this first row is just joined. You can observe till here. All of them are accounting on New York. You can observe. That is what till 14. 14 number you can see. Then now in the department table, you have the second column, right? What is the second column? You can observe research and dollars. Is it or not? So 15 onwards, all 14 EMP employees map to research dollars record in the department table. So that is what this one only, right? R1, R11, R2, R12. R1, R11, R1, R12. So like that, it is mapped here actually. Got the point or not? Okay, joins are really very important. That is why you can observe till 28 research dollars, and after that till 42, because 28 plus 14, 42. Sales and Chicago, and then operations and Boston till 56. So 14, each 14 with each record in this part actually. Okay, that is called as cross join actually. You didn't put any condition in the join. That means every record in the table is just going to join with other record in other table actually. We don't have any condition here. So simply if you just mention the table names in the from clause, not only just one table, you can mention more than one table actually. Okay. So when you have more than one table, if you don't have any condition how to join these two columns, these two tables, if you don't have any condition, it will simply perform cross join actually. In mathematics, you might know. Okay. Cross join. Okay. So here, did I mention? No, I guess. Okay, let it be. So this is what cross join. Okay. Any confusion? Hope that is clear. Because on top of the cross join, we are going to discuss next thing. Because other joins, if you want to understand, cross join must be clear. That is why I just given this whole data in front of you. Okay. So today let us see the first one here, equijoin. Okay, let us come here. That is simple one. What we want to do here, see, if you observe here, for example, Smith is there. Smith don't have any relationship with the 10th department. Smith is actually 20th department person. Is it or not? So 20, suppose if anybody asks you, Smith department name is what you will do actually, you will come to the EMP table. What is his DEPT number? You will see up to here, up to this column, this is EMP table data, and from here this is DEPT table data after cross join. Okay, so if Smith department name, if anybody asks, you will go to the DEPT column, you will retrieve that number, then you will go to the department table. Where is the 20 you will identify, and under the DNAME whatever name is there, that you are saying actually Smith department name is research. So if you observe that when you execute this one cross join data, DEPT number in the EMP table, DEPT number in the department table, which one you need to consider? When both of them is same, you can observe for the king department number is 10, and here also 10. That is what this record is valid record. Is it or not? Got the point or not? So, and again, Clark record is valid record because here 10, here 10. So hope this is clear. Where this is really very important. This is EMP table DEPT number. This is department table DEPT number, because in both the tables we have the same column name. Is it or not? So when it is going to become a valid record, whenever EMP table DEPT number is equal to DEPT table DEPT number, and all other are invalid, just this don't have any uh, meaning actually. Okay, so that is what the condition you are going to place here. Okay, now you can see select star from EMP comma DEPT. Okay, where you are going to put a condition here, where So now try to understand, whenever you write the join, first it is going to perform cross join only on top of the cross join. That means first it will do 56 records join. Now it have in front of the compiler, these 56 records are there. Then you are putting a condition, right? So what I want to do is, see here, I'm just giving E here, I'm just giving D here. What does it mean? Sometimes table names are maybe big, but in the query, you want to refer easily. So you can give alias name like column names actually. So table alias name is E here for the EMP. For the DEPT, D is the alias name. Got it. Now come to the where clause. You can see in the EMP table. Now you see, the moment I given E dot, E referring EMP table, in the EMP table, you have these 8 columns. Is it or not? All those columns it is showing. You want to put a condition on DEPT number. You just select or you can type. So on this column, that must be equal to which one? D dot. The moment I place a dot, you can see D referring DEPT table. DEPT tables columns came in the suggestion actually. So I'm just taking DEPT column. By placing this condition, where clause means conditions only, right? By placing this condition on top of this cross join, every record it will take, this is it satisfying this condition? So 20 equal to 10, false. This record is not coming. Next, 30 equal to 10. This record is not coming. Like that, 10 equal to 10, condition true. So this record is coming in the output. After that, King is coming in the output. Then after that, Miller is coming in the output. Like that, then Smith is coming in the output, because 20 equal to 20. Wherever this DEPT is equal to this DEPT, those record only coming in the output. If I run this one, just tell me how many records is going to coming in the output. Comment in the chat box. Hope you got, first of all, this join, is it? And condition, how to put a condition. Yes, for that, you just refer this one. EMP table, DEPT table. EMP table, EMP data, total 14 employees are there, and each employee, some department number is there. Definitely that will match with any one of the department. So 14 records are going to get in the output. Now let us run this one. Observe the output. So you see now, we seen the Smith, right? Smith 20 equal to 20. So here now you observe. In 56 records, these are the 14 records which are satisfying this condition. That is what you have to understand actually. Suppose the same query, of course, query, whatever I am saying next, that is not, it don't have any meaning. For example, if I give less than, what will happen? This DEPT number, if it is less than 2, this DEPT number, such a records will come in the output. What is there, right? No meaning, but still you can see the output. There are 25 rows which are satisfying that one. You can see 10 less than 20, that is why came. 10 less than 20, that is why came. 20 less than 30. Got it or not? 10 less than 30. All rows, whatever here. That means again, out of 56 records, 25 records are satisfying this condition. That is why those are coming the out. Similarly, you can give other things actually greater than, and you can play without having any meaning for the query. You just play for the observation. Got it or not? 17 records are satisfied. Okay. So any confusion in this part? Joins. This is the first basic joining. We have very important joins actually after this. So just confirm, is it clear or not? Any confusion, feel free to ask. Okay, right. So these three are nothing. Okay, we will see. And a very, very important thing is outer joins. Okay, so today we are going to stop here. What you will do is just note down, if you are new to this one, outer joins. That means left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. Yourself do some research on these things actually. Okay, try to understand something, then we will discuss clearly tomorrow. Okay, so if you have anything to ask, you can ask. Otherwise, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow. Okay. So any doubts? Okay, then we will meet tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night. Yeah, that is equijoin actually. Also coming under theta join. Yeah, that is what. If you understand equijoin, nothing is there. In place of the equal symbol, you will place other operators like less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. That's it. Okay. Main thing is cross join, you must understand. And from the cross join, how condition, once you place the condition, how you are getting the output is you must visualize actually. That is what important, because you see in the real time here 14 records are there. You are just displaying the data and then you are developing the condition, but in the real time you may have lakhs of records in one table. So okay, whatever tables you are referring, you may have lakhs of records. So you should not develop the query basing on the data you have in the table. Okay, what is the requirement, basing on that, on which column you have to put a condition, such a visualization you must have. That is what logical. Okay, so that is what we will do enough practice. And once this is completed, I will give other tables actually which have more number of data, not just 14 records. Okay. Okay, then thank you. Let us see tomorrow. Okay.